As a bit of a belated birthday gift to S-Code Knight, let's go right into Pokemon Philosopher, Chapter 1. And I was waiting for all 3 parts to be completed, and now that they are, it's been 2 weeks. Here they are. Yeah, I'm just going to be doing that going forward. Wait for all the parts to be released, then do it all in one go. Hopefully none of the parts are like 15 minutes plus each. But the entire point of doing the chapters and parts is to avoid that, so yeah. I question the disclaimer that, again, people are idiots and probably think, like, this is truly the next Pokemon thing. I know because I saw in this random fan series with 300 subscribers.
Man, these old shoes smell worse than rubbish. Where am I going to get some new ones? Oh, I know. I'll just go to Densaku. Densaku is offering a new generation of running shoes
skip the ad button.
Trainers ready to go out there and explore the world. These high-packed shoes put passion over fashion, but can still offer a durable look that can guarantee... Hello there, trainer. Welcome to the world of Pokemon,
wasn't
and
a bad
welcome
fake
to
ad, though.
Sky
Seen worse.
University. My name is Professor Batula, and allow me to be the first to introduce you to this wonderful academy that will decide your place in the world. Now, as I'm sure you're already aware, this world is filled with wonderful creatures known as
The heck
Pokemon.
Is that?
And here,
What, besides
at
the
Sky
Pokemon,
University,
obviously.
we will help you decide which career you would like to take with them. Rather it be trainer, coordinator, connoisseur, breeder, you name it. You'll be able to decide all of that
Unless you want to be a
more
nurse.
upon these lovely campus grounds. We will be willing to accept any trainer who would like to find their calling.
You're just obliterating the fourth wall.
Come and visit us today.
Hey, player, are you coming or what?
Well, this was said to be a sequel series to Science and Magic. I just didn't think they meant so literally. You know, because when Pokemon has sequels, it's more like, it's kind of a sequel, you know? Gen 2 is a sequel to Gen 1, Black and White 2 are sequels to Black and White, and
hello,
not
ladies
much
and gentlemen,
that.
and welcome to the new series, Pokemon Philosopher. In this pilot chapter, we'll be introducing the world, the characters, and all the stories you can expect to participate in throughout the series. To start things off...
I like this. She's like based off of Larvitar.
I hope you weren't spending too much time on your iPad again. I know you just got back, but you can't just keep people waiting, you know. To fill you in on what the heck's going on here, this is your adult sister, Elizabeth.
What?
Don't let her blank expression fool you. She actually is pretty caring, even though she'd rather not show it. Anyway, you have just returned to your home region after going abroad for quite some time. And now that you've gotten your trainer's license and settled back into your hometown, she's going to give you your very first Pokemon. Anyway,
Gen 3
let's
is
get
still,
going.
as far as I know, Gen 3 is still the only one that has a father.
Should already be in town. Can't keep them waiting.
See, I think... No, wait, no, I'm misremembering. In Fire Red Leaf Green, I think, was Gary's... the rival had a sister. We, the player, did not.
Not much has changed since you left. So, how was it then? The Pokemon school you went to? I don't know why you didn't go to Sky University, but, you know, I'm sure the one that you had abroad was nice. You learn any good tips there?
You could say that. I went to a whole new region.
What should I say?
Became a champion.
Sorry, never mind. We're here now. Listen, this other trainer I'm giving a Pokemon to, they're a little shy.
Well, so you are the professor.
Make sure to be nice. They're still kind of trying to find their place in the world, you know?
Of course. I imagine them will switch leads. I don't think we've ever taken on Mentor or something like that before. The closest I could think of is what was the name of that fan series where it's like they kept referring to you as champion.
It is
like
a lovely place to live. Even trainers that have left here to do something else can't help but come back to it from time to time, just to enjoy the scenery and take in the nice breeze.
I'll look it up.
Some of the minor landmarks that you could check out here is the watermill, which also doubles as a pub, and a nice little fountain in the town square, with a stone Seadra on top of it.
Ooh.
Now, where's that new trainer you're supposed to meet? Oh, there they are. Hello. Sorry, I'm looking for Elizabeth. You know, the Elizabeth. I was wondering if you've seen them. I mean, I know it sounds a little crazy, but I'm actually supposed to meet... No, it's fine, kid. It's not crazy at all. You're looking at him. You're Elizabeth? The Revolu Region League champion?
Revolu?
I'm so sorry, madam.
Champion?
I mean, my father has told me about you, but I never thought you would look so... It's fine, kid. Honestly,
that means your age is probably
not many people really recognize me, despite the whole champion status. Never really bothered me, though. Charlie, right?
So
your dad told me a lot about you. Fine trainer he is. Oh, well, thank you, madame.
I don't know if you lost
he thanks you too.
Red lost
he
his title.
He appreciates you giving me a starter Pokemon to help me get off the ground.
These are just humans for not showing up for like 265 days or something like that, you know?
Oh, well, this is Playa, my younger brother. He just got back home, and I'll be giving him a starter Pokemon too. Would you like to pick first? Oh, no, that's alright now.
So this isn't the same player, it's a different player.
I don't really care what kind of Pokemon I get, so...
Should have been more obvious,
your brother here can pick first if he likes. It's nice to meet you, by the way, Playa.
Nice to meet you too, Charlie.
Alrighty then, let's get started. Player, the professor gave me 3 Pokemon for you to pick from. Naturally, they're pretty rare, so whichever one you like, just make sure you take good care of it. Introducing your starter Pokemon for this region. As per usual, you have either a fire, water, or grass type to pick from. So, let's go over them real quick, shall we? Starting off, we have Butterpup, the Firmland Pokemon. Using the leaves on their neck, they create a strumming sound by scratching them. They do this to get the attention of their trainer or other members of their kind. They're incredibly friendly and playful, but imprintive, so make sure they don't get into a bad crowd. Up next we have Bagrill, the Fire Sheep Pokemon. These guys take a note from another local sheep Pokemon from this region. Because of this, they are known as the laziest fire Pokemon, and are pretty hard to motivate. But you shouldn't have too much trouble doing that. Lastly, we have Nervish, the jellyfish Pokemon.
It's amazing how tiny these
special
things
water
are
manipulation within its body, it can keep itself
like
on
twice the size
land.
of you.
It loves dancing around, but it's
more like
incredibly
your
shy,
size, but still.
and will often remain underwater because of its own timid nature. A bit of a flawed crop of starters, but shaping them up is the challenge of being a Pokemon trainer. So let me know which one you would pick in the comments below.
You already know I'm going to take the fire.
Nice decision, you two. Now that that's sorted out,
fire type this early on in the game when they're not going to give you a lot of fires. Yeah, I'm going to take it.
I don't know. But you've had practice battles before at the academy, right? Well, yes, but I've never really had an official one like this. Not to mention, this Pokemon you gave us is brand new. I don't think I can... Hey, it'll be fine. It can be a little bit scary on the first go, but you'll get the hang of it. Nothing will start, though, until you take action. Oh.
You're using Sonic 06
right.
quotes now?
Thank you, madam. Okay, player, I hope you're ready for me. Let's battle!
Charlie wants to wants question mark to battle. Well, I guess it's more like she wants to battle.
Right. Here goes nothing. Go, starter!
Alright. She's going to use whatever
now,
strong
the starter Pokemon Charlie will choose is actually randomized and can be either one of the 2 that you didn't pick.
Oh, randomized.
Luckily, all 3 of these guys start out with pretty basic moves, so you don't have to worry about them having
early on it doesn't matter because they're all like tackle, scratch,
battle, so make sure to bring your A game.
Thing. Pound, maybe.
Oh my. Starter, are you alright? Oh my. Starter, are you okay? I'm really sorry that I didn't push you too hard, did I? No, Charlie, you did just fine. And so did you, player. Well done, you two. I can see that your hard work has paid off. I'm sure you'll do fine in the Pokemon League, and hey, maybe you'll get the chance to face me one day. Yeah, right. Listen, sorry, I've got to get back to the academy. Graduation day is around the corner, and, well, I need to catch up with my lessons. I get ya. I guess Player and I'll be seeing you at the festival then. Oh, of course. I wouldn't miss that out for the world. Especially since Principal Nicholas is introducing this new thing. Although he has been pretty vague on what it is exactly. Do you have any ideas? Nah, I'm just as clueless as you are. The only thing we got is that it's something that's supposed to revolutionize Pokemon training. Whatever that means. Anyway, I'll see you around, kid. Enjoy your new Pokemon and try to stay out of trouble. You too, player. I know you'll probably want to get started on doing your own thing. So see you at the festival and good luck with the Pokemon League. Festival, hey? That sounds interesting. Looks like we'll be visiting Sky University. But before we do that, let's backtrack to Route 1 and see what new Pokemon we can find now that we have our own Pokemon to help capture them.
Let's take a look-see, shall we? There's gonna be a bird in here somewhere. That's usually how these start.
Route
Maybe
1 is a pretty simple route. A simple straight line with a nice little river to stroll by. Couldn't go into it earlier since we didn't have a Pokemon at the time, but now that we do, we can start doing some team building. So, let's start digging and see what faces we can find, both old and new.
Sounds good.
Let's start with the most common newbie you can find, Smartin, the Martin Pokemon. Though often overlooked, this Pokemon is well known for its superior intelligence compared to most rodent Pokemon.
I like its
One funny incident that was recorded on camera was this Pokemon tricking an Alakazam into crushing itself with a boulder. This Pokemon's stats are a tad
I want
higher
to see
than
that
average
story.
Pokemon, since TMs are no longer a necessary thing.
Thank God.
Up
Thank
next
Arceus.
we have Valiant,
I like
Scout
this.
Pokemon.
Okay,
It's a very
this is
cooperative and tenactic Pokemon. For safety reasons, these guys
a little
will often
funky,
stick
but
in
that's
large
okay.
flocks,
It's the first
where they will
stage.
brutally attack anyone who threatens them. During times of war, these Pokemon were used to deliver messengers from long distances.
Ah, really?
They're able to travel
Lieutenant Surge
overseas,
must have loved
flying
these
for
things.
days without tiring.
Oh no, they are actually.
Lastly, we have Bugyu, the skunk
that's kind of
Pokemon.
cool, I guess.
These guys are able to produce a toxic gas from their mouths, which they can use to neutralize their prey, melting
I think
them
our foot might be
inside
bigger than
out.
us, or at least
Because
the
of
same
their
size.
naturally rotten smell, most trainers usually avoid these guys. But if you're interested in one, I'm sure it would be a pretty valuable Pokemon.
Well, it's
especially
early
if you
game,
get
so I
it
don't have
evolved.
the right to be picky.
These three are only but a taste of the many
I'm
new
catch them
Pokemon
all
you'll be able to
and
discover
probably
in
like
this
keep
region.
the bug and the
don't worry,
bird.
you'll be able to bump into a few old faces as well. In fact, here are the ones that you can find on this route.
Oh, a bunch of old favorites. I think I'll just stick with the new ones, though.
Well,
Nothing
so
here
far
really
so good for the
overly
start
me.
of our new journey.
Except for maybe the
I wonder
fish.
what
I forgot
this
the thing's name.
festival Elizabeth
Arrow
and Charlie
something.
mentioned was all about. Well,
Maybe a
you'll just have to
Purloin.
find out next time as
Actually-
our journey through Revolu
Actually, a Purloin
continues.
this early in the game might be handy because there is a dark type. So, yeah, maybe not electric type with Pichu. Again, we're early game, but I'm just gonna quickly go back to see what it was. So obviously, I'm gonna catch all the new. Just to go over the team, I'm catching all the new ones, of course. With the freaking normal type's weird tail situation, I could see it like having its head down in the grass and using its tail like it's pretending to be chompers or something, like it's to like ward off predators or something. Or it's almost got like a Loch Ness monster sort of thing on the tail. And other than that, for like news, I guess maybe Venonat, the arrow shark thingy. I know it's not arrow. I know that's not the name of the Pokemon, arrow shark. I'm just calling it. That's what I'm calling the fish. That isn't Magikarp. And maybe Purloin. Just because it might be handy to have a dark type this early in the game. I don't know what the future holds, but you know. I usually whenever I start in a new region, I want to keep it mostly focused on the new region. With of course there's room for like old Pokemon and stuff like that, but I want to keep it primarily new. And then on repeat playthroughs, I'll go back and do some older stuff. You know, that's a lot of Pokemon for the first thing. Usually in Route 1 they just have like 3, maybe 4 Pokemon if you're lucky. But maybe this is counting some. Like then again, you are by the sea, so maybe some of this can be caught with fishing and surfing and stuff. Actually, now that I think about it, you're not going to be able to get it if we don't really know the route. So it is a case of like you're probably not going to be able to come here late. You're probably come back later when you have a fishing rod and a surf. So you might not be able to even get the freaking arrow shark or the Magikarp yet. Okay, the fishing rods usually you get early in the game, so Magikarp is within the realm of possibility. The arrow thing, no way. But yeah, that's for me. It'll just be the three newbies and like Purloin and I guess maybe a Peach. You just have electric type, I guess maybe. Early on, there's not a lot to worry about. So yeah, that's the team for now, and we'll see if I remember for the next part. Moving on to part 2. And now we're into part 2. And yeah, just to bring up a thing I said earlier about having surf and that stuff. I know TMs aren't in the game anymore. They have like the ride Pokemon and all that jazz now. Or whatever the frick Gen 9 did. But it's been like surf and freaking strength for 6 generations. It's not getting out of our heads, let's be real. So, you know, if I say surf and stuff like that, just, you know, equate it to whatever the equivalent is going to be in this, you know? We're not going to start the game and cutting down all of the trees. Well, actually, cut you get first. So, like, moving all of the boulders and stuff. Anyway, new Pokemon. Who dis? True pilots. There's like a fire stone in the way. Alright, here we are in Route 2.
Now that our team's starting to take shape, let's start tracking up to Sky University and see what this festival is all about. In order to get there, however, we're going to have to go through Route 2. Around these parts, you can start battling the first trainers you can find in the game, and you can start treasure hunting by finding some of the many items that are scattered throughout the route.
They're pretty easy.
And of course, if you go digging through the grass, you can find some new faces to add to your team. Starting things off, we have Piupa, the stink bomb Pokemon. At level 15, Bugoo will evolve into this Pokemon, but they can be found at a fairly low level around these parts.
Oh, so it's evolved.
Due to highly toxic chemicals that are stored in their cocoon, they are incredibly hazardous and are warned not to be touched under any circumstances. Poison, however, is pretty much all they got because they're mostly motionless during this state. Travel here at night, however, and you can find Grimmin, the devious Pokemon. It lives up to that title since it can be found playing tricks on trainers and Pokemon, often stealing their food or ripping holes in their tents using their horns. They are devils, but definitely not bad choices.
I can have a goat and a sheep on my party.
Just make sure to keep a sharp eye on it. Lastly, for now, we have our first regional variant. This is Revolution Jigglypuff, the balloon Pokemon.
Okay, so Revolution.
Now, how these guys came around is kind of a funny story. You see, people say that Jigglypuff in this region originally looked like the Cantonian ones that we're more familiar with,
and
those Jigglypuffs love to sing.
Up.
However, everyone kept telling them that their singing put people to sleep and it sucked. And they didn't take it well. Because of this, the air inside their body became overheated, making them more aggressive and giving them fire typing. They also have a new ability called Warm-Up, which I introduced in my previous series. It basically turns normal moves into fire moves. Following these guys, a handful of other freshmen that you can find around these parts are these three, who have already been established. And in terms of the oldies, we have these guys. Mostly flying, normal, and bug-type Pokemon. However, the most interesting sight around here is Bulbasaur, who is a rare encounter, but can still be found here in Route 1 and in other parts of the region. There is a reason for that, which we'll probably learn about soon enough. However, another rare Pokemon you can find around these parts at night is this little fella, Petrabat, the Stress Pokemon.
He was in the last region.
It's also not from around here.
No.
It and its evolution are from another region called the Cryoto region. Its evolution is called Batamux, the Ghost Bat Pokemon. Make sure to check out Pokemon Science and Magic to learn more about these guys.
I need to check out the Greek thing. I forgot about that. Whoops.
Welcome, Fletchling Trainer, to Sky University, one of the greatest Pokemon academies in the world. If you're having trouble connecting with
Sky
Pokemon
University
or
because there's
deciding
the sky
what to
behind
them,
it, no other place has
campus
that.
grounds are the perfect place to exercise your relationship with Pokemon and find out what kind of trainer you would like to be. And it appears that you've entered on a pretty popular day since you can find trainers scattered throughout the entire grounds. Although, as you get closer to the entrance, that doesn't seem to be by choice. Why, hello there, young trainers, and thank you for gathering round to hear the opportunity of a lifetime.
Sign up today to become a part of the Great Prophecy. For once our great Lord and Saviors return to this world, they shall perish it of all of its wrongdoings.
Alright,
Come join Team Prophecy today, as we help mankind guide itself towards its destiny, ridding this world of its chaos and destruction, and bringing utopia. No
all
thanks.
39 of them.
I just want to get in. My father's going to be pretty mad if me and the other students don't. Don't be a slave to the system.
Man.
It'll be irrelevant once our Lord and Saviors come from the heavens to bless us. They will bring forth a new world order. So join Team Prophecy today.
That's the direction they're going.
Mario think you crazy.
What? Who dare calls the Order of the Great Ones crazy? You. Yeah, it has to have been you. You and your blank stare says it all. The Great Ones will punish you once they have come to this world, but in the meantime, we will have to do. For the prophecy! Team Prophecy!
Alright, ooh, okay, that's a nice logo. They got a bit of an unknown vibe, and I mean unknown as in the Pokemon.
The Great Ones have blessed our Pokemon.
Alright.
Go, Abra!
Oh boy, it's going to spam teleport and nothing else.
Do
and it
seem
can't
a bit
be used in a
nutty.
battle.
They are definitely not to be trifled with. They use a blend of psychic, normal, and fairy-type Pokemon. And you'll be encountering them quite a lot throughout the series, so make sure to be prepared whenever you see one.
Either, it could be a bit of a tougher battle.
Oh! Help us, our Lord and Saviors! Help us! Go, dear Voyance! This is the main Pokemon used by Team Prophecy.
Alright.
Dear Voyance is the Fortune Pokemon, and is said to have the power to see into the possible futures, using the glowing orb on the end of its nose. Despite being used by Team Prophecy, they're actually very wise and patient Pokemon in the wild. If they feel disturbed, however, the spots on their ears will begin to glow, which is a simple sign of keep away. You won't be able to find one just yet, however, so keep an eye out for it if you want to include it on your team.
I think I'm good. I don't usually
forgive us, our Lord and Saviors. We failed you.
I shouldn't say that. I shouldn't say that by rule.
This defeat means nothing. It won't change the outcome. As soon as the Lord and Saviors come to our world, you'll be sorry you ever came across Team Prophecy. Despite this bit of luck, it is your destiny to lose.
It's because we're facing the wrong way. I'm even seeing things.
Thanks for your help back there. Those Team Prophecy jerks usually come around here once in a while. They're always trying to get people to join their organization. And unfortunately, some of them do.
Your outfit is way too significant to be just a throwaway character.
Anyway,
spot the main character.
We better get going inside. The Sky Festival's about to begin. The Sky Festival, eh? So that's what it's called. Well, let's stop wasting time out here and go inside and see what it's all about.
Sounds good to me. A festival inside of a building? Yeah.
As you wander about the campus grounds, talking to the trainers to pass the time, you learn more about the Sky Festival. Basically, it's a once-a-year scientist expo here at the Academy.
It's a science fair.
At the end of the year, they usually show off a lot of the revolutionary things that are being made to help streamline Pokemon training.
Science
in fact,
and
many
magic?
high-tech Pokemon items that can be found in the modern Pokemon game were made in this region, like the portable PC or the permanent EXP share.
I have a question. Oh God.
Why?
Well, at least we have someone to blame
back
now.
In Pokemon Yellow,
Anywho, ongoing jokes aside, once a year at the end of the festival, they have a special presentation to introduce a new form of Pokemon
if you don't
tech.
like the experience,
you know what they'll be introducing this time around? Only one way to find out. Hello, one and all, and welcome to the end of another brilliant semester. And to another special announcement to the end of the Sky University Trainer Festival. For this year's special event, we have an incredibly interesting announcement for you. Something which the Pokemon world has never seen
of you
before.
Are here.
But before the man himself comes on stage to revolutionize Pokemon training, a word from our sponsors.
Oh, God damn it.
The Cyndaquil. A small, cute,
this is just
and
taking a
innocent
stab
creature
at you two.
being driven to the brink of extinction. Once there were many. Now, only a handful remain in the wilds of Johto.
If they're anything like Ash's Cyndaquil, they kind of.
But it doesn't have to be this way. If you're a trainer who's just beginning on their Pokemon journey,
well, then why just
and
show
need a
Gen
new
3
Pokemon
trainers?
to start off
Only
with,
Gen 2
the
and
starter
Legends
program
Arceus
has you
trainers
covered.
can get freaking
Adopt and help preserve endangered
Cyndaquils.
Pokemon species, so their kind can live on for another generation. The results have already proven to be successful. The first starters adopted into the program, Bulbasaur, Charmander,
They started
and
the
Squirtle,
starter squad,
now
which
flourish
was a
within
great
the wilds
YouTube
of
series
Kanto,
until it
and
hit,
even this region,
hiatus,
after being
that
endangered for
happens
so
sometimes.
long.
Real life is more
But there are
important.
still so many Pokemon going extinct. So, sign up for the adoption today, and let this be the start of a new life. Thank you.
Oh, I wish there was an actual website. Everyone knows we if we could just adopt a Pokemon by going to a freaking website. You bet your ass we would have a Pokemon by now. That's quite the stare.
Ah, yes, wasn't that adorable? Hello there, fletchling trainers. Thank you for participating in yet another glorious school year. As always, I, your head principal and your host for this evening, Professor Nicholas, have an incredibly fascinating new discovery to show all of you, one of which that has been in the works for some time. This, what I have here in my hand, is called an alchemy stone. A rare mineral that
I think they're supposed to be overlapping each other like a
region.
DNA strand, but it looks like just
Through
one's on top of the
recent
other.
discoveries, we have figured out that this stone has some incredible mutenic properties. It's not simple, and doesn't trigger evolution like regular elemental stones. No. Instead, when exposed to any Pokemon, it triggers something a little bit more
where the DNA looks
fascinating. Clover, my dear, would you care to show off my creations to the crowd? Oh, but indeed, Professor. But first, please allow me to explain how this works. Now, as I'm sure you're all aware of last year's product, that being the TM machine. Something which allowed you to use the essence of Pokemon to create new moves, or TMs, or HMs, or whichever you prefer.
Jeez.
We trialed these machines in the Paldea region with great success. However, from what we have discovered, if the essence of Pokemon, two Pacific Pokemon, were fused with the Alchemist Stone, the stone would transform into an egg. And what would hatch from that egg? Well, let's just say it's something that truly is revolutionary.
Yuck.
Come on out, boys!
What the heck? What did you do to Bulbasaur, Charmander, and
May
Squirtle?
I present to you the new revolutionary Pokemon of the world.
Is that how you
Alchemy Pokemon. Or Alchemon, for
Alchemon.
short. These three are
I know
only
they
one
had
of
like
many
time disruption
brilliant new
Pokemon in the
Pokemon which
Paldea
we
region,
personally have
aka we
designed
wanted to turn
ourselves
Pokemon into
by
robots,
fusing the
but
essence of
I didn't know it was
Pokemon
that
together to create new, updated forms, which should prove to be more efficient in Pokemon battle.
Congratulations,
especially compared to the original counterparts.
You have become
Pokemon.
Mewtwo from the
Not
first
that I am
Pokemon
complaining
movie.
about Bulbasaur, Charmander, or Squirtle. They are iconic,
Then again, no
of
one
course,
remembers
but they
that,
have
so
served
yeah.
their purpose and served their glory days. And yet we keep rubbing them into our society. Look at them,
Yeah, Charizard
so
is a little
bland
rubbed
and
into
out
our
of
faces.
date. But I can assure you, these new Alchemon are a superior
Unless like
design.
Bulbasaur's Ice type, it's losing the original because it looks like a rock type.
That's all good, my dear, but do you think we should introduce these Alchemon to the guests? Oh,
Like
but
their
of course,
typings,
Professor,
perhaps?
and I might as well explain what essence you will need in order to make them. Starting
Okay,
things
so it
off,
isn't
we
Ice
have
type.
Project Frozen, Burgasaur, a Bulbasaur infused with Bergmite DNA.
Interesting.
This improves
You
the
cause
Pokemon's
Pokemon
defenses and
fusions.
eliminates its weaknesses.
You are
to the
Pokemon
cold,
Reburst.
surely making it
You can have
more
that extent, but
efficient
still.
in battle. Next we have Sillymander, Project Glass. The
Silicon
scales of a
and
Charmander and the sand of a
Charmander.
Silicobra are required in order to form this Alchemon. This form eliminates Charmander's flame tail weakness and gives it the ability to shoot molten glass. And
Okay, that's
lastly
kinda
we
cool.
have Cartle, Project Gem, a Squirtle infused with the DNA of a Carbink, taking the generic design of Squirtle and brightening it up with some flashy gem action. All
Surprising you can get
Alchemon
fairy
have the
typing.
special ability Alchemy Boost, which allows them to boost the strength of Pokemon in your party that are the same type as them. Provided they're still active, of course. But they don't even need to be on the field in order to use the ability.
What?
Ah, yes, yes. Very impressive, Clover.
The
and these three are only some of the many examples of which you can create with the Alchemy Stone.
Team of alchemy
Keep
Pokemon.
in mind, we're only allowing you to create certain species at the moment. The Alchemy Stone is still a little unpredictable, and we don't want any experimentations. So trying to create
this is gonna
new
Pokemon
get out of hand all on your own with them is not allowed, and you must stick with a very specific guide manual, which will be included in a special
playing God now,
phone
even
that
though
we'll be
we're
giving
playing
those of
God.
you who will allow to handle these Pokemon. And to show off their efficiency, not only will we be having the gym leaders of this region use them in their gym battles, but I will be holding a special contest for those of you who have this special Rotom phone. And the winner of this contest will receive an alchemy Pokemon.
Remember that thing was a legendary
or like other,
or
one that I have been creating as my personal
that was a good 5 minutes.
project.
Now it's your phone.
But before I go into the details, I would like to show off the efficiency of these alchemy Pokemon. You, stranger in the audience, come up here. Why, hello there, Blank Slate. Now, what would your name be? Player, yes, what an interesting name. I would like you to battle a trainer who will be using an Alchemymon, and if you beat them, then I will give you a new Rotom phone with the special license required to make Alchemymon for free. As for your opponent, I will be giving you my very own son, Egon.
What?
He has just congratulated to a Pokemon trainer. Isn't that right, my boy?
So
yes, Father, I'm really excited. All right, that's enough. You talk too much. In fact, we all talk too much. So let's cut all of that and get straight to the battle, shall we?
I mean, I can agree
Egon,
with that one. The cutscene's been a little long.
All right, then.
This cutscene is too long for Pokemon player. Just get to the battle.
Pal.
All right. Get this show on the road.
Okay. Go. Ninkata.
Oh, good. I'll just use the fire starter and sweep this. Or my flying type.
Oh, that didn't work? Okay, then.
No.
Go. Paling.
That new?
This is Paling, the Nightingale Pokemon.
Okay, if I have the flying type out,
it's said to be the deceased spirit of a bride that is possessing a piece of cloth. During the dead of night, they will unleash a bright glow to attract unassuming people and Pokemon towards them.
Creepy.
Though you are not yet able to obtain one, make sure to keep an eye out for it. I'm sure it'll make a great team member. Oh, that didn't work too.
You mean either?
Come on, Egon. Come on, you've got to make him proud. You've got to make your father proud.
You use the Bulbasaur?
Go, Rock Eevee.
Rock Eevee? You fuse the Rockruff with an Eevee.
Isn't she a bundle of joy, people? This is Project Replacement, Rock Eevee. A perfect combination of Eevee and Rockruff, two of the cutest Pokemon. One of our more successful Alchemon, this adorable little companion will make you forget about Eevee, as it overwhelms you with its incredible
there are way
adorableness.
Too many plushy Pokemon.
Just watch out for the rocks. They are sharp.
Naturally. Do you think this is going to go over all the evolution merch? Are you out of your goddamn mind? Those things print money.
Ah, yes, very impressive player. Well done. Now, as a reward,
my granddad had you as a son instead.
Here is your special Rotom phone. As for you, Egon, I am dreadfully disappointed with you. Please go and do your daily Pokemon training, and then I shall speak with you later. Yes, Father. I'm really sorry. Words. No excuses, my boy. Go! Now then, as for the rest of you, I am sure this little demonstration proves the efficiency of alchemy Pokemon. Now, as for this little contest I had in mind, your special phones will have a ranking system. The more trainers you beat, or gym leaders, the higher your rank will become. All of you will start off with the E rank, but as you progress throughout the region, your rank will improve over time. The trainer with the highest rank of all will gain the grand prize. As for what that grand prize may be, well, you'll just have to win and find out. Giveaways for these new Rotom phones will begin shortly, so make sure to get one if you want to get your own Alchemy Pokemon. That will be all, young students and Pokemon trainers. Thank you all for listening, and see you next year.
This is dangerous.
Well, that was a lot to take in.
I'll say.
New hybrid Pokemon made from an alchemy stone? What could possibly come from this, and what's
Nothing
this pet
good.
project he was on about? Well, I guess we'll just have to find out next time, as our journey through Revolu continues. Psst, psst, over here.
Seeker.
Why, hello there.
I'm Looker.
I figured I'd find you here. It's great to finally meet you at last. Agent Player.
Agent? We're an agent. Ooh, that adds an extra layer to it. We're undercover. Alright. This one was mostly focused on a bit of exposition and setting up the game's main story. I admit the idea of fusing Pokemon is cool. Like, let's face it, we've all gone to the Pokemon fusion machine at least once, or at least looked at some of the Pokemon fusions. It's somewhat the anime's fault with Venustoise. We all remember that, and it's glued in our heads. Like, so what other fusions can we make? None. What? Lame. But this is just dangerous for playing God. We all know how this storyline's gonna end, and we're like, okay, now we just wait until it was up gloriously in this bastard's face, and he fuses with like a Mewtwo or something. It's like, what have I become? Oh god, if Arceus comes back in this, and he fuses with something. Ugh. But, oof. Fusion. The fusion aspect is cool, I won't deny that. Like, that is a well done thing you made there, S-Code. That said, I wouldn't use any of the fusion Pokemon. Okay, on a repeat playthrough, I would definitely totally abuse that thing, but just on a sheer methodology of what's wrong with this thing and them playing God, I don't think I would. But I'm also the type of guy who'd be like, I'm gonna go through the frickin' Gen 8 without using Gigantamax, and then I did a few times. Or like, I totally won't use Mega Evolutions, so anyway, Mega Lucario. I'm a bit of a hypocrite. Unless basically if I won this cool enough, I'm gonna be like, sure. Oh god, I don't know. This is a case of playing God, but you know what? I can't say what I do in an actual playthrough because I don't know. Who knows? Maybe I would go through with that. I'd like to think I'd go through playing and be like, no, I'm gonna be the one person saying no to this. But odds are I'd just give it and be like, yeah, sure, I'll take a frickin' Charcobra or whatever the thing was called. Salamander, I think it was. Yeah. We'll go. Okay, so that's why the Bulbasaur was easy to catch in this region. At least the Cantonian Bulbasaur was. Just because it's going to be related to the story of fusing Pokemon. Alright, that'll be interesting to get into. And now, of course, there's going to be some Pokemon fusions with this region as well. Interesting. But, yeah. Question. But as for my Pokemon team, it's mostly unchanged, except if I did catch a Purloin, I've been switched out for that goat thing, just so that we can have a sheep and a goat. So, yeah. I'll just keep... now, as for the freaking fusions, I'll probably just be more like, how dare you combine Pokemon and play God? Now, excuse me, I'm going to combine my Pokemon and play God. But we'll see what happens as that goes on. Maybe I'll feel more inclined to, maybe I'll feel less. I don't know. We'll find out as time goes on. But anyway, I'm just rambling. Let's get to part 3 now. Tempest. It was Pokemon Tempest that was the Greek region I was thinking of. Yeah, I looked up between parts, but funnily enough, before I even looked it up, I was just like, it was Tempest! Nah, what are you gonna do? But anyway, yeah. Last time we played God, and now we're going to, well, see if we're gonna play God with more Pokemon. Do I even need to recap that to you, actually, now I think about it? Because it was literally like 5 seconds ago for you. But then again, with all my rambling, it might have been like a full minute or two. But anyway, it's fine. You're not going to forget in like a minute. The first mission.
Tired of getting your delivery constantly delayed? Desiring efficiency above everything else? Well, we got just the thing for you. Make sure to call Philosopher Couriers. With us, we'll give you exactly what you want in record time. No delays, no ifs, or no buts. Over 90% of customers are satisfied with our spectacular services, so make sure to call us today. For more information, deliver yourself to pelippercouriers.
I believe Pelipper is a carrier service in the Pokemon Mystery Dungeon series.
Got it. There we go.
Like a male Pokemon.
Sorry about that. This should prevent you from getting tracked, as well as prevent them from listening in on you. I mean, I doubt that's the case, but better safe than sorry. Anywho, lovely to meet you at last, Agent Player. I trust your training at our astute academy suit you well. Either way, welcome to your first assignment on the job, and welcome to iPad, aka the International Police and Detectives. Considering all the viable threats that have showed up in our world over the past few decades, whether they be caused by Pokemon or man, our job is to predict, uncover, and contain.
Team Aqua.
Is that everything? Yes, okay, that's everything. Sorry, just had to cover the basics. Classic introduction for every new agent. Anywho, there's another member of the Force that will be joining us on this special mission. We should have met her here. Oh, my goodness, I apologize. I forgot to introduce myself. I am Luker, and I'll be accepting your apprenticeship in your first assignment. No need to be nervous. I was doing this ever since Giovanni was on the scenes. More than 30 years of work, and I'm still a good-looking person. Either way, it looks like our additional agent isn't here at the moment, so I suppose we'll just have to meet up with her where she was last doing her own assignment. I believe that would be the Lion Farms, so let's get going, shall we? I'll fill you in on our job as soon as we get there.
Lions? Or maybe it's spelled Lyon or something. No, Liein, of course. That makes much more sense. A bit of Zelda.
Hello, gentlemen.
Oh, hello.
Sorry, the farm is closed
you
at the moment. We have a few
welcome to the World of Pokemon thing.
It's alright. Government business. Please tell us what's going on here. Well, I was just cleaning myself up after, well, my final lesson for this year. I'm a teacher at Sky University, you see. I was just minding my own business, herding up my Pokemon and all that until, well, all of a sudden these strange-looking Pokemon came out of nowhere. Well, I didn't really know what they were until the conference at Sky University, and I was given one myself. But I was almighty confused, especially considering that the principal told us that these Pokemon couldn't be found in the wild. Alright, that's enough. Thank you, sir. Could you please tell us if there's someone else around here by any chance? A young woman with dark hair? Well, yes, actually. She also said that this was government business, apparently. Told me to close the farm. I was going to check on her after coming back from the festival, but that won't be necessary,
we forgot about Team Philosopher.
We'll take it from
God
here
thing
and let you know when it's safe.
Took my focus.
Come on then, Agent. You have Pokemon now, so let's see what you're capable of.
Time to battle. Or not.
Lovely little place, isn't it? In order to find the other agent, you're going to have to investigate the farming lands. That means looking through the trees and bushes of plants and crops that are being grown. Look deep enough, however, and you may discover some Pokemon.
Naturally.
One of which being Scarababeel, the motor Pokemon. Scarababeel can be seen chasing around the field lands at high speeds. They're big enough to carry people on their backs, though due to their lust for rush, it's pretty hard to convince them to do this. If these Pokemon feel threatened, they'll smash into their victims at high speeds like bumper cars. However, they would rather much just race. They can often be seen competing with another speedy Pokemon, that being Joggoat, the fun run Pokemon. These electric-type goats are big rivals to the speedy Beetles. However, they're no contest when they evolve into Ramarosu. This guy is also the fun run Pokemon and is much faster. More information about these two is available in Pokemon Science and Magic. Moving on, we have our next regional variant. This is Revolution Mareep, the wool Pokemon.
Nice.
Mareep in this region are much lazier than their Johto counterparts. Because of this, all the electricity in their body has fizzled out and gone inside of their minds, making them psychic types. They hardly ever move, but they can still be dangerous since the dagger on the end of their tail has the ability to put you to sleep. I don't mean it kills you. I mean it literally just puts you to sleep.
It's okay, kids. It's okay.
Just thought I'd make that clear. Next up, we have the joyful Hopu, the nurture
It's nowhere
Pokemon.
near Easter.
Very
We're
friendly
close on
by
Halloween.
nature. These Pokemon are often used to take care of eggs.
We might be near Easter.
They can be seen in farms like this and daycares taking care of the young Pokemon.
I feel like the egg in
Though
the sack
cute
is an
and
actual
friendly,
Pokemon,
it's
though. That's
incredibly territorial and will not hesitate to lash out at others that threaten the young Pokemon's youth. They also have a new signature ability called Tender Care, which helps Pokemon eggs in your party hatch faster.
Well,
Definitely might want to get one of these if you plan on getting some of those alchemist Pokemon. Lastly, we have this place's namesake, Lion, the straw Pokemon. These fellas are hardly motivated, but they can make pretty viable predators if given the chance. Originally considered a nuisance, they can now be seen lying around the farmlands, protecting it from wild Pokemon which may want to eat the crops. Other than these guys, here's a small list of the newbies that can be found here, and of course the oldies, mostly consisting of bug and normal type Pokemon, as well as a few others.
Still.
And don't forget to tell me which one of these fellows you'd add to your team and how your team in general is getting along.
I think you have a higher chance of getting a shiny than a female Combee. That's hyperbole, but actually that's how they've been reducing the chances of being, or increasing the chance of being a shiny. That might be accurate.
What are you doing here? This is a restricted area. Get out of here, kid.
Oh no, I'm fine.
This is government.
I am government.
Here they come.
Flash's badge. What the heck? Spinnerack Apom fusion. Spinnerpalm?
This is interesting. An alchemy Pokemon in the wild.
Apparak.
This is Apparak.
Apparak.
The goal was to make a much more useful version of Apom by fusing it with Spinnerack DNA. However, the results leave a lot to be desired. Due to the incredibly overwhelming senses, the Pokemon is very twitchy and pretty hard to keep still. They also have no venom whatsoever, and their web is nowhere nearly as strong as Ariados or Spinnerack. But they are vicious, and their jaws can still deliver a nasty bite, so be careful. Not a lot of them left. I can probably handle this, though.
Yeah, I got it.
Stay back, citizen. I've got this. Go! Cuffent!
There's another one now? Took care of him. Alright, good work.
Oi! What are you playing at? I said I can handle this. You don't need to butt in.
Oh, we came in to help, okay.
You know what? It doesn't matter. Sarah Rose, Galarian Intelligence. What business does a young trainer like you have coming into a restricted area like this?
Although I just didn't question it because
there's usually a with us, I'm afraid, Sarah. Well done, player.
Except for original Gen 5, there's like no region that doesn't have some crossover
Luca,
Pokemon.
I'm so sorry, I didn't... Wait. Hold on. This is the rookie that's supposed to be joining us?
Sup?
Doesn't look like much. If I didn't know better, I'd just say he was some
crossover. Technically Gen 1, but we're not going to count that.
Well, he will be, but that will only be his cover. In reality, he'll be helping us with what we're doing. Speaking of which, looks like some new evidence has come to life. Indeed, now we know that these strange Pokemon are actually alchemist Pokemon. If that's what we're calling them.
It got out of the wild.
Also, what is going on?
Good question.
Oh, my apologies, player. Might want to sit down. Let me get you up to speed. You see, player, Sarah and I were investigating this thing before you were. At first, they were just random sightings of Pokemon that were never seen before, or unidentified, which, well, isn't anything special. New Pokemon are discovered in our world all the time. But the more we looked into this Hopu hole, the deeper it got. Now we know that these mysterious Pokemon were alchemist Pokemon. Which is strange, because,
I just keep calling them
Alchemon are not even allowed to be released into the wild, due to their unique nature.
Oh, they're allowed, but that didn't stop
I interviewed Nicholas myself, and he confirmed it to me. I assure you, Mr. Smith, we are taking the absolute precautions to make sure that these Pokemon do not appear in the wild.
All he needs to say is we spared no expense.
Alchemist Pokemon are unable to breed. We engineered them that way.
Okay.
Are you sure, Professor?
This was a Jurassic Park book version problem.
It's not breeding that I'm worried about. What if trainers that have these licenses, what if they abuse these Pokemon or release them in the wild themselves? I mean, we know how ignorant young trainers can be. And that's not to mention the problems that come with releasing Pokemon in the wrong environment. Just imagine what these custom ones will do. I can assure you all of your complaints can be 100% justified. Besides, should the trainer do something so careless, then the fail-safes shall kick in, and the trainer will no longer be allowed to wield these Pokemon. And besides, what trainer would possibly pass up or claim these revolutionary designs useless? Mr. Smith, you really love using that undercover name, don't you? Hey, if you got something that works, milk it till it's worth.
Why not?
Anyway, I wouldn't want to go as far as calling a Pokemon useless, but I will say these Alchemon do leave a lot to be desired. It feels like they kinda rushed a lot of these. I mean, the Apparak that I was battling earlier didn't even put up much of a fight. They seemed too busy twitching like crazy, as if their systems weren't used to the extra senses.
Of course they weren't.
It seems that the two different Pokemon DNA is clashing with one another. Well, I guess the moral of the story is don't do Pokemon fusions. It's never a good idea. Did you find any more cases? Well, yeah, 6 others. iPad's keeping them under the radar for now, but it's not going to be easy keeping this from the public any longer. Honestly, what do those idiots think they're doing releasing Pokemon like these into the wild?
Nothing
idiots.
Smart.
Does that mean you have some suspects, Sarah? You could say that. Before the Apparak appeared, I found some odd-looking fellas making their way through the brush. They were wearing pink cloaks with some weird symbol on the forehead. That's strange. I've seen people like that hanging around Sky University.
So have I. They are called Team Philosopher. Oh, sorry. So have I. They are called Team Prophecy. I was reading it wrong.
Another crime syndicate, I see.
Or something like that.
Hold on, player. I'm going to look into the database now. I'll see what I can find out about these fellas.
Why it took me forever to read that.
Only you would still use a laptop in this day and age. Well, it's useful.
Screw you. I think I'm watching this video.
Anywho, this is what I found out about Team Prophecy. They originally started as a small club, but they've gained a lot of members over the past few years, to the point where they have 3 bases throughout the whole region. Are they dangerous? Not from what I could find, no. Overzealous, sure, and they can be a bit of a nuisance, but nothing that makes them on the level of Team Rocket or even Team Flare.
That's because Flare aren't a threat.
This might be worth looking into. They don't seem like these type of troublemakers, but considering all the things we've heard of and dealt with, we'd be quite foolish to ignore such potential dangers. Well, that settles it. Let's split up. I'll handle these Alchemist Pokemon, and you take care of these Team Prophecy fellows. Cover more ground. I like the idea. Player, if you're nearby, we'll let you know if we need your assistance. That being a big if. Sarah, please, give the young trainer a chance. He was top of his class at the academy. That doesn't translate to field experience in my books, Luker. Besides, you know me. I go by a code. I believe it when I see it. In the meantime, see you on the flip side, Luker. As for you, player, if you do show up, stay out of my way. I'm sorry about her, player.
It's fine.
She's very passionate about her work, but she does mean well. Anywho, I'm going to start looking into my own case. You just remain undercover until you're needed. I'll be looking forward to seeing what you're capable of, but in the meantime, allons-y, player. And with that, we have come to the end of the first chapter of Pokemon Philosopher. But how will it go from here, you may ask? Well, similar to Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, the main story will be divided into 3 arcs. There's the Pokemon League arc, which is more or less the same as it is in previous games. You're one guy, there are 8 gym leaders, beat 'em all, final boss. There's the Team Prophecy arc, where you investigate the organization alongside Luker. And there's the Alcemon arc, where you help Sarah uncover the secrets to these mysterious hybrid Pokemon. If you're watching this in the far future when this series is complete, and if this was an actual game, you could take any of these arcs on in any order you like.
Interesting.
However, at the moment this video has been uploaded, there shall be a poll, which will allow you to vote for which one of these arcs you would like to see first, depending on which one of these 3 gets the most and least votes, of course. So, in between Pokemon Leagues, Team Prophecy, and Alcemon, where will the road to nowhere lead us first? Find out next time, as our journey through Revolu continues.
Alright, it's interesting way of doing it this way with the 3 separate things. I do like that way of doing it. That the player pick and choose what he wants to infiltrate more rather than like doing it all at once. You can't juggle it all at once. Let them pick it up, so that way there's no like jumbling with the storyline like how there was in Gen 8. That is a good way to fix that problem that they had in Gen 8 and then fix it in Gen 9. So, and now we're doing that here. Interesting that we're now an undercover agent. And now the Pokemon got on this. I mentioned that this is a bit of a Jurassic Park book version problem, and that's that. In the book version of Jurassic Park, it was more attention about how the dinosaurs couldn't breed with each other, and there was a machine that could be used to count all the dinosaurs and make sure that the numbers would remain the same. And it counted like, I think it was like, let's just say 200, just to make things good, rounded and even. So the machine would always count that there was 200 dinosaurs every time. The problem with the machine was it would always count for 200, but it wouldn't count for higher, to make sure that there wasn't more dinosaurs. And once they figured that out, they'd be like, search for 210, there are 210, search for 220, there are 220, so on and so forth, until they realized these things are breeding due to some stuff with the DNA and science mumbo jumbo. But something tells me that if we don't keep this in track, that could be a problem with these alchemy Pokemon. Ugh. If these things do get out there and find more, then it's even more dangerous. Or if they find their own fusion stone doing it themselves. Apoms do have hands, so it's possible that it could do that. Well, most Pokemon have hands, but Apom has the tail hand. But, you know, Maximum Pokemon doesn't have a choice. I didn't comment on the evil team in the last part because the alchemy Pokemon were far more interesting. But I can bring them up now. They seem pretty good. They're an evil team. You know, they're solid. I don't like how in the modern games the evil team have become more of jokes than actual threats. Like, I was fine for like a game or two if they would decide, okay, we're gonna make them a bit more jokey this time in the series. Like, that was fine with Team Skull, and then they did it in Gen 8. It's like, I kind of wanted you guys to be a threat again. Like, it was nice that we had a breather, but that's all it should have been, a breather. And I don't know if they were threatening Paldea, because, again, it didn't play Gen 9. And I'm gonna stop bringing it up literally every 5 minutes unless it's relevant. But yeah, Bloody... They're fine. They got an interesting gimmick, and you don't see a lot of evil teams that use psychic types. So, there's something different. No real additions to the team, I guess. Nothing really interesting besides the Zoomer Pokemon, and the regional variant Mareep was cool, but I'm not gonna catch it. Like, okay, no, I'm gonna catch it, but you know, I'm not gonna use it properly. Maybe, I think. So otherwise, I think the team remains the same. Of like, you know, the starter, the early game bugs and stuff like that, the normal, the goat, stuff like that. And yeah. Oh, and also I want to say that, my God, S-Code, your art style has just improved dramatically over the years. Like, how long has it been? Like 5, almost 10 years going on. And it's ridiculous. You're approaching 10 years. Ugh, it's crazy to think of. Like, I still remember the original Yu-Gi-Oh! Unleashed, and the art for those cards were fine. But now it's like, You're almost there. I can see you, like, Sarah looks almost like she could have gone next to Nick with Looker, and there would have been little difference. Like, the only reason I could tell is because there's a couple drawing errors, just like the fact that her hand's like there's a little slash in between them and stuff. Like, that's how you tell there's an indent in the drawing point. Or maybe it was just to show that her hand was like this, or she's got a ring on or something. But you are nearing that level, and it's just truly a real step up from Science and Magic. And again, Science and Magic and all that stuff, the drawings aren't bad. It's just that this is showing that this is just how much you've improved over the years, and it truly is exhilarating and amazing to see how far you've grown over the years. It's truly amazing to see, and how you're progressing through this in this new series of Philosopher. So that's why it's called Pokemon Philosopher, because of the Philosopher's Stone. It's all a Harry Potter reference. No, the Philosopher's Stone was right before Harry Potter. But, yeah. Well, I hope you had a happy birthday, Scout Knight. I'm looking forward to many more. So until next time, later.